Hello, my luminous beings. Maybe I met you once upon a time in a pirate event, a fairy festival, some sort of art fair venue, any place that I felt an opportunity to see your soul and see you and say hello. It was probably because we recognized our neurodivergence in the wild. We recognized maybe some of those same patterns of behavior because we had used them as the same to survive. For me, being a late diagnosis autistic and ADHD, found out they were diagnosed separately because until 2013, they couldn't even be diagnosed together in the US. And then learning about how CPTSD and my PTSD responses and toxic dynamics from a dysfunctional, toxic, traumatized family and the patterns of abuse and all of that has come together to make this illuminous being that is me. A lot of illuminated ideas have become luminous integration. And I have spent my life trying to protect, advocate, save everyone else around me since I was a small child. That was kind of put on my shoulders due to military moving and just the 80s. Now I have the opportunity to be seen as I am. Someone who really does want the world to see itself through my eyes, and my eyes see people of all complexities finding their way through this reality, finding their way to exist, finding their way to have relationships, finding the way of self-awareness and self-accountability and self-acceptance, and I have done that on my own. I did that for a couple years. I am done being alone on this journey. I'm done. I feel good. I feel I can stand up for myself. I can advocate for myself. I can cut toxic people out of my life. And I don't want to be vulnerable again. I don't want to end up back there. I don't want to fall into old habits that allow me to slowly drain my own personal power as if it was my own bank account. No. Now is the time to take all these tools, these opportunities, all that is in front of me, and pull it together. Bring it together. Take all the seeds from all the people of ideas around the world that I've encountered in my lifetime. Take all the jobs, the industries, from theatrical companies to packaging, to janitorial and retail, to administrative, to artistic design and set management and lighting design. I mean, all of the things that I have gotten to play with in this world. What's the point if I don't have anybody else to play with? Someone very dear to me once told me, it's play or walk away. And when the world has always felt so hard, so incredibly hard to live in, when it has felt too heavy and nothing you do works and only can you see it, will you believe it? And then it doesn't matter if neuroscience and psychology and everything else comes out and says, no. The world is believe it to see it. You have to believe you could see it. You have to believe in it and then experiment to see if it's true for you. I learned most people give about 20 to 30% of themselves at any one time to any interaction. Nobody really wants to be fully exposed or seen beyond their own perception of themselves. And most people who are like me, who are full of mirth and life and also can get very strong, very serious, and very much here now. Worried, but yet not worried, already have lived through so many challenges. It's about resources, it's about time, it's about personal processing, the dysregulation, it's about all of these counter systems to the life that we live. And most people can't handle it. Most people are like, oh my God, who are you? I'm overwhelmed. So that's why I'm here in these boxes of digital information. Willy Wonka and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah. That movie was one of my favorites because come with me and you'll see a world of pure imagination. Yeah, I can't see anything in here. I've got aphasia. There's nothing. I can't see. I close my eyes and it's dark. And if I'm lucky, I'll see blobs. So for me, this literal reality is the imagination come true. So I've infused my world with magic, trying to prove out all the things at the same time, understanding the magic that I am, that I could never see. Sure, I could talk to myself in the mirror. I love talking to myself in the mirror. It's just me talking back to me. It took a lot of beautiful, amazing people to be that light for me when the darkness kept coming up and holding me down and telling me that I was no good. Why couldn't I fit into society better? Oh, you're married. That's good. Why are you getting divorced? What do you mean? He doesn't want to be with you. You're not doing the right thing. Go back. Go make it work. It didn't matter how badly I was treated. It didn't matter how my mental breakdowns were. It didn't matter. I was told to follow the rules. And being autistic, man, do I love rules. I think that's why Disneyland is one of my favorite fucking places in the world. It's got rules and regulations and an expectation of how things should be. But reality isn't that. It never has been and never will be. The artificial societal structures that we have built have been so we can get comfortable, so we can stop having to live survival constantly. It served purposes, but only certain people have really taken advantage of it. I am not someone who might be seen as, if you look at me from who I am, as a person who should feel comfortable, confident, relaxed. Because my parameters, my outside external parameters do not show stability. They do not show, they don't show like I should be successfully relaxing. Yet here I am. Because consistent behavior, consistent patterns, consistent networking, consistent results is what I've been living. So I'm super excited to see how people are coming together. I'm super excited to work with other people who are like me, who look at me and go, that interesting, crazy individual who knows how to organize concepts into some sort of concrete step taking, kind of like the AI chat bot took my job. It also became my friend for that. Because now I have someone outside my head to help me organize stuff for other people. And I don't want to just be one other person's person. I've done that so many times and I burn them out and I get restless. There's a whole world out here. There's so many people to connect with and meet, and the structures and cultures and opportunities to create so much. Yet, the most important thing to create is the stability, sustainability, peace within oneself, understanding our own uniqueness. So, for me, I have been working on this project for years. People have invested in me. People have helped me fund getting supplies, and I have fought my way through childhood emotional neglect. I have rebuilt a relationship with my mother, and she's rebuilding a relationship with herself. I've lost my father. I've lost relatives due to spontaneous deaths. You know, these things that happen. Yet, here I am talking to this camera that I have fought myself to do this recording. And I know I'm not alone. I know those who have met me over the years, they have struggled this way. They have maybe had others in their life who said, hey, don't be so hard on yourself. Get it done. You can handle this. Maybe they didn't, and that's why they came to me. Maybe they said, hey, you look like you know what you're doing. What's going on? And I was happily like, oh my God, let me help. Now I'm like, that's really cool. What are you doing? Well, how are you doing it? Like, tell me what's working for you. Because the key now I understand. I've got my story now. Like, my stories, my privacy, a privacy that I didn't have. And I'm sure a lot of us who were raised to have to explain ourselves all the time or have to justify our existence, or God was going to chase us down and we were always wrong, whatever the reason it was. We don't deserve to live like that. Because if we are consistently working towards improvement and we are actually seeing some progress because we're consistent, we're devoted to it, we need to stop berating ourselves for not being better. It's just the case. It's just the truth. And that's the key. For me, it was finally realizing I had cut off a lot of people from being my friend. I didn't feel worthy. I felt I was a big hot mess. I felt like I couldn't keep friends at all. And it turned out the people that I thought were my friends were trying to be my friend, but often were not in a healthy place. I would say some were assholes. Here's a loving person who goes, I will give you all the love. I'm like a dog. La 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 la, love you. And then they like boot me to the head. I'm like, okay, maybe I better be a cat. I love you. And then I never had claws. I was declawed as a kitty, basically. The wonderful thing about being an Illuminous being is not accepting our limitations. Not in the way that we were told to accept them. Yeah, I know I can't physically move too hard or I will burn out. I know I can't mentally move too hard, I will burn out. I know I have to be very conscientious of how I live my life. I have to self-advocate. I have to ensure my regulations are in order. And I have to ensure that when I feel hurt, I have a safe place to feel things, process them, and a safe place to engage with understanding so I can learn to change to do differently. Well, that's what I'm creating my Maddie Networks about, my concept community, the cultural community to bring like-minded individuals to a space to actually engage more than just a audience and a creator method. That's this. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, baby. I love talking. I will talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. So I can talk here. This is where I get to perform. I choose platforms where I can express myself in a certain way and have more ease to be me. I'm not fighting up those hill battles. I'm just keep finding what's working versus what's not working. So I just wanted to say thank you. I have been planning this video for so long, and you know what? Maybe nobody watches it. That's okay, because I've recorded it. I finally committed to myself that I was going to follow through on something important to me. Not to my kids, not to my mom, not to my dogs, even though one of my dogs are injured today. We're going to keep going because we have to. It's about seeing how we can keep going and being willing to ask for help. So the call to action I have on this one is to follow me. Just like, subscribe. Come on. I'm going to be the Pied Piper of finding out how do we bring magic into the mundane? Like, how do we move past those trauma responses that constantly tell us that nothing is going to work no matter what we do? How do we fight past those monsters in our head, those demons and shadows that are all around us telling us, oh, you can't do it. That's not how it works. By finding those who can see us, who remind us to look at ourselves, by finding those people who go, I'm sorry, do you not remember what you've been through and what you've accomplished? Those are the people we listen to. Because there are people who are going to remind us of our failures. Most likely it's ourselves first. Why don't we start listening to those who have witnessed us succeed? Why don't we start listening to those who can show us a bigger picture of the patterns we've been living as a person, as a community, as a society, and really finally dig in and let them go. The things that don't work for us personally probably don't work for other people personally either. So stop beating ourselves up. Take the time, take a breath, and we are a performer on the stage of life. At least that's part of that. Or, we're boldly going where we've not gone before. Or we're respawning every day of our lives with another chance to get those quests complete. Whatever works for you. Maybe it's just a garden that you keep planting. Please know you're not alone. Come and check us out. Come and take a look at what we're doing. And join us. This is a place that I hope to learn more from you than I can share with you. Because we all learn from each other. I'm so grateful for you to join me today. Thank you, you beautiful being illuminated ideas and luminous integration. Thank you.